We just start with the holding the ball rule, Matthew. You got some clarification yesterday. How difficult is it to change mid-season, I guess?
There's not a lot of change in it. I think we're going down the right path here. Again, it's a player welfare that we're looking at. We received some, I guess, clarification and some vision around what it looks like, and it's not too dissimilar to what we've been working to. So there may be a reaction and might be overdone slightly in the first couple of games where it's a little sharper on holding the ball, but that's okay. We'll prepare for that. And ultimately, we're doing this for player welfare. So I think as coaches, we're all invested in it.
So is it a bit of a watch? You'll watch the games before yours to see what the...
We'll keep an eye on how that goes, and we won't change the way we play, but we'll be aware that there may be an adjustment. It'll be so slight, hopefully.
How has it been though, as the game sort of changed in the last year or two, to be able to react to that, the way that they're adjudicating? Has it just been really hard to know?
There's a little bit in it, but at the same time, we're doing it for the right reasons. We're not changing rules because we don't like the game. We're changing rules or adjusting parts of the game for player welfare. You know, we want to look after our athletes. And so I think we're doing it for the right reasons. And as I said, it's such a minor adjustment, and it's really just probably more clarification around what it looks like.
Have you been concerned? I think I asked you a couple of weeks ago, and you said it's not a space that you spend much time in. But is that? Do you spend more time now in that space of trying to teach the players what to do and what not to do?
That's my job. My job is teaching the players. Yeah. So we're always educating. We're always working around developing players' games. Part of that is understanding rules and understanding, you know, what you can and can't do in our game. So it's no different. It's just another part of what we do, and it's, as I said, it's minor. I think it's an important one we don't make too big a deal of.
Not many competitions change mid-season, though. So is that a comment, or is that making your job harder? Or?
Yeah, it's maybe a fair comment, but I think again, when you come back to player welfare, we're looking at something here that, as the game changes and we coach different ways and we see opportunities and. You know, we've got to keep working through that. We want to look after our players, make sure we do the right thing by them.
Zach Taylor went down out there. Do you know an update of any sort?
In a tackle, yeah, interesting one. We're not. The word's not confident. We're hopeful he'll be okay. It was a hip as well. I think, you know, careful we don't talk too much about knees. So he twisted through his hip. We'll have to wait 24 hours or so just to make sure, but we're pretty confident he'll be okay, which was good news.
It must be frustrating. He's been pushing for a couple of years now. It sounds like he's been close but not quite there, but obviously frustrating anytime someone gets injured, but for him as someone who's been pushing pretty hard.
Yeah, he's right around the mark. Yeah, he's, you know, he and a couple of others are pushing for selection in AFL, and look, as I said, I think we're confident that he'll come through this one okay. He may even play this week. That's the early talk, but again, I'm mindful of jumping the gun on that. But he's playing some good footy at SNFL level. Still a few things he's working on, but he's close.
Just on this weekend, Hawthorn have been pretty red hot the last month. Darcy Byrne-Jones kicks a miracle last second goal. That's the only blemish really on their record. What have you identified? What's been the turnaround for them and what they do well?
Well, they're a very good contested side. It starts in their midfield. You know, they're as good as any in there. They've got some real balls that love attacking the footy. And so if you're looking at data and statistics, the ground ball for them is extremely strong. So we're going to have our work cut out for us. We know that. We played a team last week that were coming off some pretty good form against Melbourne. Hawthorn have got, as you mentioned, a real block of form. So we know we're going to have a big challenge this weekend, and we're playing at a venue also that we haven't, had the best of record at. We love playing there, but we haven't had an outcome that we've been pleased with. So we're really keen to go over there and give it our best crack.
For the belief of the group, how important is it to get a win over there and kind of put some of that stigma to bed? Yeah,
the same as every week. We got a lot of belief out of last week. We've had, and I mentioned it post-game, we've had a block of probably around 7 games where we felt our footy's been played at a pretty good standard. We haven't again got results that we're after necessarily throughout that. We've had a draw and we've lost a couple by under a kick, and ultimately you're judged on win-loss. So you'd say, well, it's been a disappointing block of 7 if it's just on results. But we've been confident, and a lot of beliefs been building around how we're playing. I think we really want this one. You know, we understand what a win will mean for us, as far as our season goes. And if you look at how the ladder's shaping up, there is beginning to become a little bit of a gap there from the top and possibly what will be the bottom. So we've got a choice to make whether we want to stay connected to that top group.
Dawson doing some walking out there, is he all good?
Yeah, Dorsey's great. He's, we're a 6-day break and a 5-day break at the moment. We're right in the middle of that, so pre-planned to come in and give Dorse a little bit of a recovery week this week. I guess in the aim for him to be right to go across both games.
How impressive has he been? I mean, it sounds like a Captain Obvious question, but it seems like his work rate is reaching a new level this year, which some people probably already thought it was top of the pops last year. But have you noticed that?
Yeah, we have. He's. I think it's really the leadership. A lot of people can be put in leadership positions, and it doesn't make them stronger. He's one that he grits the teeth and wants to go harder, wants to get out in front and lead by example, especially on the field. He's an outstanding leader off the field where he works alongside, but when he gets on a footy field, he just says, follow me. So I think that's why he's been so impressive. When we need him in games, he's been able to step up.
Can you talk us through that Saligo substitution that you made, and at least the calls that you have to start making with these younger players that you've got in your team at this point in the season, just to keep them fresh?
Yeah, we'd love to be able to do that. We go in with a plan, to every game. That plan sometimes is months out. With Saligo and others, but if we talk purely about the decision with Jake on the weekend, he's a first-year midfielder is how we look at it, and the pressure that's put on the body if you're an inside mid or hybrid midfielder is substantial. You look at Laird and Crouch and how they do it, year in, year out. It takes a good base to be able to sustain that. So for Jake, we just want to make sure that he's at his best for us, that he can perform at the highest level, and that may mean the odd management here and there. And the weekend was a perfect opportunity for us. We had Berry ready to go. That was plan A coming in, if everything was going to plan, and at that point at half-time we were able to make that decision.
How far do you think Luke Pedler is off from coming back in?
He's working his way back, a little bit of soreness at the moment and just working his way back in. He's an outstanding player. He's still so raw, and we're working through a few things with him, but he has some weapons which we know are important at the AFL level, and when the time's right, he'll come back in.
And the other one was Himmelberg with his surgery on his cheek. How's he going? Was he close at all?
Yeah, he's probably still a week or so away. He had surgery on that, and we won't take any risks around that with Elliot. We'll make sure that he is cherry ripe and ready to go, so we won't rush him back in. He won't come back this week.
Pretty exciting to the prospect of getting Nick Murray back out on the park. He's clearly been hitting the gym too.
I think he's bought the gym. He's done. I mean, it's a credit to our high performance crew. We know they're high end. We saw Schoenberg come back on the weekend in fantastic condition, and didn't miss a beat in the game. I thought he looked clean and sharp, but physically was ready to go at AFL level. And Nick Murray's another one that I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. We're always nervous with these things, but he's done all the work. Can't question the way he's gone about his rehabilitation, and as I mentioned, our guys, the high performance crew and the rehab guys have done a fantastic job. So we look forward to. We don't get to watch him this weekend live, but we look forward to seeing him come back. He'll play at an SANFL level, and then hopefully we can enjoy that Monday and then start to plan when does he get a look at our AFL level.
Do you think these players are coming back at just the right time? Murray coming back probably for the second half of the year, Riley hopefully another 5-6 weeks or so. Could you hit your stride right at the end of the season?
We'd like to think so. When we lose Riley at the start of the season, it's really disappointing, but you start to try and find the positives in it, and what does that do for his hunger? And as I mentioned, the group that have been working through rehab, Wayne Miller, Riley Thilthorpe has been in there. Rory Sloane's been with that group. They've just driven each other to a standard that I haven't seen before. So, what we hope is they all come back similar to what Harry did on the weekend, and it does. It brings an energy when someone new comes back in. You would have seen that when Harry had his moment, that the group just loved it and got around him. They know how hard it is to be out of the game with injury. It's tough. So hopefully we get some of those guys back and they impact.
Can I just ask a quick one about how the forward line's functioning? Obviously, Tex isn't having the scoring output. Fox sort of he is, and he's had a really strong patch of form. Has there been a shift in the dynamic? Is it now more Fogarty centric, if that makes sense, or is it just the way it's rolling?
No, there's not an intent in that. Fog obviously on the weekend had a huge impact on the game, but that's where Taylor Walker's his experience is coming through. He understands team and knows where he needs to be at a certain time if his opponent is, we don't want them where the ball is. So I loved what we delivered on the weekend, not just as a forward line, but across the team. I think we had 13 goal kickers. That's a lot harder to match up on coming into the next few weeks. Who is it you're going to go to and stop? And that's where our team, I think, have taken another step in the last month. It's been really about team, and Taylor Walker's led that.